So our next speaker, I'm super excited to bring up. Please help me welcome amazing, badass chef. We are so happy to have her here. She's award-winning, Nyum of Nyum.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm just so nervous, so I'm just going to read my story. So, my family immigrated here escaping war-torn Cambodia. This was a new beginning for them. You would think it would be good, a fresh new start in the land of opportunity. It was quite the opposite. We lived in a small, cramped, one-bedroom apartment, the 5 of us. My dad was abusive and an alcoholic until the day he died. My brother found comfort on the street. My mom held the family together by sewing clothes for 10 cents a piece at night. By day, she worked in the farm and picked onions under the sun. It was dark, cold, and empty. There was no warmth in this tiny place we lived. My parents never talked about the genocide, a past so painful and brutal that they had to bury it away. No emotions from my parents. It was a sense of emptiness and void that I felt. I didn't understand it then. The only time I felt good was when I was around my mom. She helped me cook. She let me in the kitchen. The sound of Khmer rock and roll bounced on the 4 walls my dad played, the same cassette over and over again. This void and emptiness made me yearn to learn more about my parents. How did they survive the war? Who are they, really? In the middle of community college, I abruptly decided to move out to San Francisco. The emptiness at home was too much to take. It was a simple goodbye when I left. My mom wished me luck, packed me some dried fish, green mango with rice, and said bye. There was no tears or hugs. I got into the nursing program at SF State and worked part-time as a waitress. But I loved my life in SF. The feeling of emptiness and void still lingered. The yearning to understand and learn more about my parents got stronger the longer I was away from home. I ached to learn about her life before the war, before the pain and trauma. How do I fill this void? One day, when I took the vitals of the patient, it just hit me. I really didn't care about the patient. I hated being at the hospital. That day, I decided to quit nursing school. A week later, I landed in Cambodia. My cousin picked me up in their scooter. We hopped on the tiny scooter, the 4 of us. We zipped through red lights, through stop signs. Who cares about traffic lights? My heart was pounding with excitement. It was all so new to me, but familiar at the same time. Everyone spoke Khmer, with smiles so familiar. But they didn't know I was out here on a mission to fill this void. I asked them questions about the past and shared stories about my parents, but they didn't want to talk. They couldn't talk. There was too much trauma. I felt defeated. They brushed off my question by cooking for me. One thing they did say was, "Your mom was the strongest woman we ever met." That was repeated over and over again. She was the strongest person we've ever met. But why was she so strong? They didn't tell me. About my aunt, my dad's sister, she was loud and loves to tell jokes. I thought, this is my opportunity. Maybe she'll open up. But instead, as soon as I asked about my mom, she started to cry. I accepted this. I didn't want to make the family talk if they can't. I can never truly understand the pain and trauma they went through. I was just happy that I have family in Cambodia. Instead, I got to see beautiful Cambodia. The countryside with the rice paddies were breathtaking. Music played from the radio in the countryside. There was the morning markets where you can do your daily shopping, the night markets where there were the countless food stalls lined up. The food was so delicious. I wanted to bring it back home. Kids were on their bikes, running around, playing soccer. I had a glimpse of my parents' lives before the war. In some ways, this brought me peace. The sense of emptiness wasn't so heavy. I learned that my dad was this hip dude that fixed motorcycles for the Japanese, and he loved to listen to Khmer rock. My mom was a bookworm and excelled in school. She was the beauty queen in her village, and she had a dog named Apollo, that she named after Apollo 13. She had a vibrant life. I was drawn to Cambodia. I kept going back, the 3rd time, 4th time, and 5th time. Each time I was hopeful to learn more about my past, to truly know my parents, but it was still very difficult each time for my cousins and aunt to talk. I was okay with not knowing. It's still a journey for me to learn about my mom. While waiting for lunch at the noodle stall in the Russian market, I was contemplating what my next move was. My next move was when I get back home. It was a humid and stuffy day and was loud. All sorts of exchanges were going on. And everything around me slowed down and got quiet. I had a taste of what the good times were. I had a glimpse of my parents' lives before the war. I fell in love with the country. At that moment, I knew what I wanted to do when I would get back home. I opened down by a Cambodian restaurant in Oakland about a year ago. When you come in, you can hear the music from the golden era. The vibrant pink and baby blue represent the good times. Nyum, in an essence, is still part of my journey to learn about my parents. It's a celebration of their youth. It's a place of good times, a time that will never be forgotten. Thank you.